Alright, I'm on hole number 9. I'm in the Clifftop Links tournament. And let's go check out hole number 9. I'm playing with my low level account. It's only got Tour 4 and below clubs. Still working Tour 4. This account will at some point have some higher level clubs in it because I'm not one of those big fans of, everybody's going to stay at lower level stuff. Our whole goal is to open up more chests so we can get more club cards so we can get better clubs. But I am a big fan, however, of staying on a tour until you get the clubs that you really want in that tour developed so that they're usable. Instead of just speeding through and trying to get up as fast as you can, as high as you can, as fast as you can. I'm going to use an extra mile, and I'm going to try and dribble out into this area. Now, I'm going to have to change up this second shot. The way I normally come at it is with backspin, but I don't have a guardian in this account, so I don't have anything that's got a lot of backspin. That's it. So I am going to bring a Viper here because the Viper's got a lot of maneuverability, and I will have to put the stuff up at the green into play. I'm going to bring a big ball. And I'm going to bring my number 1 bag. I want to use an extra mile to get over, Viper to get on. Let's open up a chest. Always want to make sure you have an open slot. Looking for the something that I use on a regular basis, getting cards. There are some of these clubs that I have in here that aren't worth upgrading, like the Rocket. It's not worth upgrading until I get to the point where it's got a couple million coins in this account, and then you can just upgrade all your clubs. All right, hole number 9. I played this hole so many times with my other account, and I always come at it with Guardian. You can come at it with a sniper too. If you got a higher level sniper, you can engage backspin on it and you can come at it. But I like this hole with the Guardian because I can get on the second shot. I can actually start off up by the green. I mean, really right off the green, and then just backspin, sidespin, curl it right towards the hole. And I can avoid having to hit through that short chute. And you do not, if you got lower level clubs, want to end up in the sand. You do not want to end up in the sand. You want to be a couple rings off down here. I'm going to put a little bit of backspin. Some curl to keep it that way. Now I do not want to clip that rough. So it's 2 4s. That's about a ring. And then just nice and easy. Hitting it perfect. And then just stopping it up short. You don't want to mess around with that sand. Now, if you can help yourself out a little bit and you can apply a little bit more curl and try and come out into the clear out here so that you can engage more of your topspin so you're not flirting with that rough down there. The deal is that if you come out here, you're almost relegating yourself to having to use the island unless you have a guardian so that you can backspin on the club. If you're out here, you're pretty much gonna have to use the island because what it is that you've closed the mouth that I'm gonna try and get through to get on the green. This is not a Albi hole. There is. Can you get Albi? Yes. Is it likely? No, not for anybody. This is a tough hole to Albi. I'm trying to get through this mouth right here, so I'm trying to stay as much this way as I can so that I can try and bring that sucker back towards the hole. Got a limited ball guide here. And I want to give myself plenty of room. I want to be as much in the middle there as possible. Putting some backspin on it. It's 1.9 per ring, so there's 3/8. So I'm going to do a 2-ring pull. And then I'm going to put all the curl that my club has on it to try and bring it back towards the hole. And it great on the outside. Now the other thing that's bad about having low level clubs is that it's your wedge. When you get to the point where you finally get your wedges up, And I'm a rapier fan. There's two groups of people out there. There's those that swear by the inbringer, and there's those that swear by the rapier, and I'm a rapier guy. There's nothing wrong with the inbringer. It's just that the inbringer, until it gets way high developed, it doesn't get all of its topspin, and so you're relegated to having to do the little hop, bounce, sometimes backspin to bring it back towards the hole. Whereas with a rapier, you can start off by doing the same exact shot, plus you have the topspin shot. I'm using a Firefly, which is kind of a poor man's rapier, but it's super inaccurate. We're going to go right at it. We're so close, I'm not going to have to make a wind adjustment, but it is important to hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. Scooting it up to the hole. There you go. In the hole. So the only thing I dropped on this round is I didn't pick up any. This is the only eagle on a par 5. I dropped those 2 par 5s, but I picked up, I had nice looks at a bunch of other holes. And I had a really serious shot at eagle on 3, and I blew the second shot. I was there, got my ball in the right spot, and didn't apply the curl to whip it to the right, and ended up caught in the rough. And on the second one, I blew the drive shot. I overshot it just a little bit on a great shot to the right. And so those 2 holes, those are really the only thing I dropped, and I did give myself a really good look on several holes where I just barely missed it. Hit the flagpole on hole number 1 and was looking at a really good eagle. I actually thought I got it and was like, wow, that sucks. So you can get it done with lower level clubs. The deal is that you have to come in with a game plan. You've got to be willing to pull out whatever ball it's going to take to help your clubs, and you need to know your win ring numbers. What gets me is when you're in the weekend round and you're seeing opponents and they're still searching around. When you're in the weekend round, you should be setting your shot up. You should have came to this hole with a game plan, and you're setting that shot up and you're executing that shot setup so that you can get the score that you're looking for on that hole. You should be way beyond the point of trying to figure out what you're going to do on the hole. So I think what happens a lot of times is people are unsure what they're going to do on the hole, and when you're unsure and you're uncertain, then you're more apt to make a mistake. I'm going to put just a couple top spin on it. I'll put some more side spin on it and bring it even more towards the hole. Yeah, just a little on that second. Okay, it's 1.9 per ring, so that's about a 2-ring pool. Nice and easy. Hitting it perfect. Give myself a look. Nice and easy. Alright, that was hole number 9. So hopefully, if you have some lower developed clubs, you can go to my playlists and pull up the AAA golf class strategies and guides, and there's a wind ring. There's several videos in there for looking at wind ring, how to set your wind rings up, and how to get the numbers for your clubs. And knowing those numbers is important, and you really need to practice during one-on-one during the week. You need to practice learning how to do the wind, how to adjust for the wind. So going into these holes, if you got lower developed clubs, you have to know the numbers for your clubs. You have to account for wind. If you're not accounting for wind, then you're going to end up in trouble on a lot of holes. That's step number 1. Is if your goal is to try and work your way up in this game, you've got to learn how to adjust for wind, and you need to do it now while you're a new player. Because the deal is because then it becomes just second nature. When I first started, I played for about a week and went, I need to figure out some way to adjust this wind other than just doing it by eye. And back in the day when the game first came out, there was very little info online. And so I finally found basically a piece of paper that was in the back of a video that Tommy shot, and I zoomed that up and looked at it with my little magnifying glass and wrote those numbers down, and was able to start learning how to adjust for wind. And then goal number 2 is when you come to these holes, have a game plan. That's why I go to, I don't just do this when I'm demoing shots. If I'm playing and I'm not shooting a video, I can guarantee you every single hole I come to Golf Clash Notebook and I look at it and I go, okay, what am I doing here? Okay, my notes say, and I familiarize myself with the hole. I get a visual. I know what I'm going to do on this hole. I know which clubs I want to bring. So I go back into Golf Clash and I pick those clubs. So now I know how to adjust for wind, and I know I brought the right clubs and I brought the right ball. So when I get out there on the course, I don't have to waste any time trying to figure out what I'm going to do for setup, or did I bring the right stuff, or wait, that ball's not right and I need to change it. And I didn't waste any time. So that means I can utilize my entire shot clock to get that shot set up, and then it all boils down to hitting perfect when you're new, because your clubs are inaccurate and the rings are bigger. So if you hit a great to the left or the right, a great to the left or the right is a ring. And so if you got a club that's 2.4 accurate, and at higher levels it's at 2, that 4 doesn't sound like a big deal, but that 4 is a big deal. So having a game plan when you go in, you can still get it done with lower level clubs. And I did pick up the Eagle on 6, but I dropped the Eagle on 3 and 5. And so, you can get it done. This very easily could have been a -13. And I hit the flagpole on 1. It very easily could have been a -14. So you can get it done with lower level clubs. All right. That was the qualifying round, Monday qualifying round for the rookie division in the Clifftop Links tournament. Thanks for watching.